Hi, TAKful Creator here. Okay, let's get started. May God the Creator bless us. May God the Redeemer heal us. May God the Holy Spirit enlighten us. Give us eyes to see, ears to hear, and hands to do the work of God. Feet to walk the path of justice, and mouths to preach the good news. May the angel of peace, prosperity, love, abundance, guidance, grace, and mercy watch over us and lead us to the reign of God. Ashe. Alright, so let's see what we have here. Okay, so a few mini messages for you all. Something about a garage or tool shed. Just make sure that you check your physical garage or tool shed, or look to the resources that you have available to you. You may need to replenish by going to the store and purchasing new, or figuring out how to solve little household problems so that they don't turn into larger problems later by going on, and this is not a plug, but like going to Walmart, going on Amazon or something like that, and seeing if they have whatever little thing that you need, whether it's like a double-sided tape or tacks for the wall to hang stuff up, or whatever the case is. Just make sure that you are doing the little incidentals now, because there may be a celebration, which was one of the first cards to fall out. There may be a celebration that's coming up soon that you want to be prepared for. And the more you do now, the less you have to worry about later. Okay, so that's just a mini message. Something about a teacher or professor, someone who wants to teach or wants to profess something, but people are taking him or her as a joke, or more so, they're taking the information as a joke. So although they may take the person seriously, they may give a certain level of respect to the individual, they are viewing maybe what the individual says, how they recall an experience, how they're showing up about something as a joke, or a way to make a joke, a way to poke fun, just being juvenile. That's what I'm getting here. Like, to someone who, you know, teaches, either is a teacher of karate or some kind of self-defense, or this teacher needs to learn some kind of self-defense because people are viewing them as a joke. Okay, so then we have this molester, pedophile, rapist energy here with the self-defense. So I'm getting people are maybe calling this individual a joke because they may look like or seem like people they've seen on TV or documentaries that fit this molester, pedophile, rapist energy or vibe, right? But this teacher has to come up with some kind of self-defense. This professor of knowledge needs to come up with some kind of barrier so that people are not viewing them as a joke. So that could be whether they're letting others know what they're thinking more, communicating more, going and learning karate so they physically, you know, can protect themselves, or going to the gym so that they look like they can protect themselves, something like that. Okay, and we just know that someone understood the assignment, right? I don't want to say that it's attached to this murderer aspect of the card, but I think more so the self-defense. They understood the assignment, and they're going to make sure that they go reverse this Cancer energy of, I'm getting like a mother goose, but not fully like in parenting mode, like a mother goose attacking a driver, attacking a person on a bike just because they're in the area and they are territorial of the area. It may have nothing to do with like offspring or anything, but they're just territorial beings. So of anything, they're like, hey, get out my space type of thing. And that's what I'm getting by this reverse Cancer. And it's not really an inviting motherly energy. It's a kind of protective, go away, I'm go crazy kind of motherly energy, right? And this social media between this Cancer energy and this Gemini energy, so this, you know, protective mother mode, but then you go into, oh, you know, at the same time you don't really care, you're kind of like above the situation even though you're in it. And social media is kind of like feeding into it. So social media is telling you all the stuff that is on your mind, or it's the algorithm is letting you know great memes that you can send to someone to either piss them off or, you know, make them feel guilty or pity or whatever the case is. And so we have this Gemini energy twice, right? But they're both in the reverse. So it's like devil on one shoulder, angel on the other, and you're constantly going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth with what you should do during this time. And because of this indecision, that could be another reason why people are taking you as a joke, or taking, you know, this energy, this Gemini energy, or Cancerian energy, right? And we say energy because a lot of the time we don't want to attach stuff to ourselves. We don't want to be like, you know, we did bad things today, so we're a bad person. No, we like to say we did bad things. We separate it as if we can then say something different about us, like we did good things. Okay, but sometimes you have to attach the negativity to whatever it is to really see the weight, to see the gravity, to see the effect that it has on everything else that's around. Okay, but there's some kind of reconciliation, and that has everything to do with this holiday celebration. So it's saying before you I guess prepare for the celebration, like with the garage, the tool shed, like getting your house in order and everything, you have to, and that is in a sense protecting your house from additional issues that could happen if there were more people there, right? So you're in a sense giving armor to your house by getting the necessary tools to make your house efficient. You need to armor up yourself as well, okay? So that you don't seem like a rebound energy, kind of like, oh, well, the celebration would have been better here, but, you know, we're going to do it here because this is all we could do. You don't want to be in that type of energy. You want to be that, oh, I mean, we couldn't do it at place A, but place B, oh my gosh, social media worthy. We're going to take pictures, let everyone on every TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever the social media platform is, let them know that this party is jumping, that this party is where it's at. It's expensive. I don't know what people care about when it comes to parties, but like that is the most bumping party like it could possibly be. Okay, so that's what I'm getting here, just as like a sub kind of message, because we're definitely going to tap into it. The reason why we put this garage or tool shed is because there's some kind of preparation. See the cover up, right? We're going to investigate what preparation is necessary, because I know we said there's a celebration. Well, police with a romantic thriller, okay, and that's why we need to armor up and make sure the resources are available so that if something were to arise, there are no issues. Okay, it's more so like, oh, a surprise, like a surprise inspection, but you kind of knew like every year you need an inspection around the same time, you know, that kind of preparation. But something, again, with this Cancerian energy, I like saying that, don't judge me, no judgment zone. But we also have something about this bank or credit loan, which could definitely be in line with the celebration. So you have to fit the bill for the resources, maybe getting a specific garage, a she shed, a tool shed, something that looks like a shed together so that there can be a celebration. Currently it is late February. It's the 20th of February, but I probably won't, you know, put this video on YouTube until later on after the 20th. So whenever you see this message, it's definitely for you, Taurus. The Taurus of your dreams in a car, genius. Maybe acting like a Peter from Family Guy, or with a Peter from Family Guy, but someone needs a clinic checkup. There's a deja vu moment happening. A PMS with a brown noser. Someone needs to kill / die, or something needs to be killed / eradicated, where some guilt will be felt. Okay, and I would like to just bring out the pendulum so that we can really tap into this energy, see where it's directing us. Hi, Divine. Hi, how we doing? Can you show me no? Oh, amazing. Can you show me yes? And that we're on the right track. Amazing, amazing. Okay, so let's see. Do we need to know who's here? No, we're already in the reading. Let's just figure out what's going on. Okay, so there's a deja vu moment with some kind of clinic / checkup. Okay, so there was a previous reading that talked about a sort of abortion. I'll do my best to add it to the end of this one. I had to deal with abortion, a pregnancy that happened because two misaligned people came together and had a baby, right? So this abortion could have been a miscarriage, or this abortion could have been something worse than a miscarriage. But I'm getting, it's not like an abortion. Like, it happened after the fetus was like in its growing stages. Okay, so this energy is coming back up. So it's saying celebration in regards to it. No, a celebration that was supposed to happen but didn't. And the celebration is going to happen anyway. It's just going to be under a different guise. It's not going to be because of a new birth. It's going to be because of a birthday. Because of a birthday of someone else's. Okay, let's figure out a little bit more about this reading. Capricorn, trust the timing. Okay, so we're knowing parts because it's mirroring the energy. So as, again, with this Cancer that's coming up, trust the timing. Okay, so with how the story is unfolding, that is how that's how the experience is unfolding for whomever this is reaching. Okay, so it's kind of like you're getting little it's and bitty details that can be like signs and synchronicities, but they're not connecting fully. Okay, you can understand like what's going on, but not enough to do something about it. Okay, so let's figure out. It has everything to do with this rebound social media energy. Okay, with the situation alert. Virgo energy, look to your dreams. So if there's been any Virgos that have been in your dreams lately, or anyone that has been in your dreams that has acted as a perfectionist, that has corrected you in your dreams, that has put you down a certain path, that maneuvered you. Think of anyone that can come across your mind that you're like, maybe I did have a dream about them and they were pointing me into a direction. Okay, this is about them. It has everything to do with your soul mission and whether or not your contract is going to be fulfilled in this lifetime. Okay, so it says on the contrary. See, so we have the soul mission, but on the contrary, it could not be fulfilled in this lifetime. But why? Because of this Capricorn, the bigger picture, understanding the light and dark of each scenario so that you can better facilitate later scenarios. Okay, now the Capricorn could also be like a death and rebirth energy, and that's what we're getting by look to your dreams. It's kind of like saying that there's an unveiling of yourself that you need to tap into, and that can tie back into the original reading of people kind of taking you as a joke, right? They're not taking you seriously because of certain markers that maybe have nothing to do with you, maybe have to do with their own projection, but you have to kind of work around it in order to accomplish this soul mission. Now, the soul mission deals with you seeing the puzzle with all the pieces already intact without the puzzle pieces being there. So how do we do that? Okay, this Capricorn energy of light and dark, we got to balance that light and dark. Okay, we have to understand the science behind the light and dark here. Okay, and what do I mean by science? So, not necessarily how something came about or why it came about, the transition from start to finish of what even came about. That is where we are with this Gemini energy. All right, balancing the pros and cons of the situation as you're walking through it. So as the information comes in, piece by piece by piece, that is how you are making up your mind. So at one moment you're like, okay, you're on board for this. The next moment you're not. The next moment you are. The next moment you're not. Why? Because when you are on board, it's to show that you are progressing, that you are on a path that is destined for you. When you're not on board, it's to trigger something in your mind that says there's a problem that needs fixing. There is something that could be better here. There's progression. There's growth that needs to happen. Now, once you get to that mind state, you can just act on it. Right? Or the universe will allow you to act on it in your own way. Okay? And then that's how you can... Alright, then the number of times the camera malfunctions is hilarious. It really is. Anyway. So, just to mini recap. There's a combination of Capricorn and Gemini energy that has to work with each other right now, and it's not fully working with each other. So that's where we're on the fence. And I say we because that's the whole point of getting the message out, because not being aligned with your soul mission right now is hindering the overall collective in their individual missions, their side missions. Okay, so how do we get back on path? Well, you can't show up as a pedophile molester or rapist. Okay, you can't show up as that extra weird person that you can't trust around kids while you're also being a teacher. Okay, now what does this mean by being physical, being handsy with the children? So I'm gauging, is this a female? No. Is this feminine energy? No. So this is a masculine? Yes. And his masculine energy? Yes. Okay, so we have a masculine and his masculine energy. Yet he's around children. So how do you show up around these children without seeming like you are a predator, because your body type may seem like a large animal in comparison to a small, vulnerable animal? Now, whether the big animal even eats the small animal, who cares about it? But just the image alone, one would seem like a predator while the other would seem like prey. Okay? And that's what we don't want here. But I'm telling you, any human falling into a piranha pit is dinner type of thing. That human's not getting out alive outside of that Wednesday show, you know. But it just goes to show you sometimes size really is not the depending factor on who's the winner. Okay, so in this case, the children might be the winner because they don't know how best to express maybe their feelings in a certain moment, right? Of feelings of unsafety or insecurity, not feeling comfortable, right? They can take that as maybe there's a molester or a pedophile rapist around, instead of feeling like, oh, maybe I don't receive this kind of emotion at home or this kind of emotion in school, but in this environment I'm receiving this kind of emotion. All right, well, how do I move with that emotion? Well, since they don't know, they just think it's wrong because they believe whatever teachers they've had before this moment and their parents and family have taught them everything they need to know, which isn't the case. Other people can teach them different perspectives about humans, but sometimes that can come off in a way that could be predatory if people don't understand the intention and connection that is meant by certain gestures or certain performances that are given. And what I mean by certain performances, I mean like when you're a teacher and you're in a teacher setting and you want to be hands-on with children and you are motioning them and you're moving their arm to do the right thing because they kept doing the wrong thing with their arm. So it's better to just have their arm do the right thing, so muscle memory. Well, for a grown man doing that to a young girl, it may not be seen the same as a younger girl doing it to a younger girl. You know what I mean? It's like, an older sister helping a younger sister, instead of, a creepy man down the street is attempting to XYZ this young, vulnerable kid. You see how the story can just be written alone without even knowing many details. Okay, so that is the image that you have to get away from if you are going to be in line with your soul mission, which has everything to do with children, has everything to do with being that nurturer. That masculine energy, that male that's in his masculine energy, that's showing up as a caretaker. right? Because as a man in your masculine energy, in order for that energy to be healthy, you have to balance the positive feminine energy, your femininity. Okay? Now, we're not saying that that's at the forefront. We're just saying that that is what's keeping this healthy masculinity afloat in the healthy range, opposed to it moving in the toxic range if that femininity wasn't there as a cushion. Okay, that's that Gemini energy, that balance energy. Okay, so remember, don't be hands-on, don't be physical. There's ways that you can direct, even with wanting to maneuver someone's hand. Use a different student. Just say, Sally, come over here and show Joan how to do XYZ. And you know Sally has better listening skills than Joan. So you direct Sally in a way that you can see that Sally did it correctly. Now you look at Joan and you say, Joan, now can you replicate, can you do the same thing that Sally did in order to learn whatever we need to learn here? And that can be a great way of being hands-on with the kids, but you as a man are not physically being hands-on to where someone else can be like, maybe that's too aggressive, maybe that's too sexual, maybe that's too XYZ. You know, you don't need anyone saying anything except, what a great job, what a great professor, what a great teacher, type of thing. Okay, now that means use your creativity. That's exactly what we were talking here, being an artist, creative. Use your creativity. That means you have to think outside the box. Don't approach anything that you've done up until this point. Hold on. And we're back. I'm telling you, with the amount of interruptions I get, I'm like, yo, I must be really like saying all the goods, like, yep, because this teacher, they're viewing them as a perpetrator that is committing some kind of crime. And they blocked the contact, of course. But this was a divine test to see whether or not people were going to believe the truth or believe with the lies that have been spread about this person. But there's going to be a hearing in court. Now, this doesn't mean a physical hearing like at the courthouse. This could definitely mean like people are gossiping about it and making judgment, or people are expressing their disdain or expressing their interest or expressing whatever. They're just creating some kind of judgment. And the ethereal realm is taking that information and kind of making a census with it. And based on the census, which would be the jury in this case, that's the side that divine is going to be with. And whichever side that is, they're going to make sure that it's going to be beneficial for them. That it's going to be, with this divine test, that it's going to help them. Now, okay, so it's like, on one end, if the teacher does the work, right, does the physical work to make sure that they don't appear like someone who would take advantage of children, right, so that their soul mission can be accomplished. If they do that, the divine is going to side with them, which means they're going to have everyone else that had all that hearsay. They're going to change the perspective and make sure that they're in support of the teacher, regardless of maybe a few incidentals, because they see his progress. They're just going to do that energetic work and create miracles for the teacher. However, if the teacher does not do that energetic work, if the teacher doesn't sit down and say, what can I do better? How can I go to the drawing board and use my creativity to establish new boundaries, standards to set with these children, so that everyone's in a comfortable environment. If the teacher does not do all of that, then the teacher most likely will lose his job, and the kids will suffer greatly, because at this point they're halfway through the year and will have to have a substitute, and so many other additionals that you can foresee when it comes to schooling. But overall, it's just negative for the teacher. Okay, the kids are still going to pass. They're going to go to the next grade. They're going to learn all the information that is important, except they don't get to learn it from the intended party, right? They don't get to learn it from the person who was sent to give the soul mission, right? So it's like you want your friend to come to the party, right? But instead you receive a text message talking about they can't arrive, they can't be there. And that's what I'm getting from this. It's like you wanted them to be there and you would be happier with them there, but then you also realize, like, regardless of not whether it happened, it was necessary, you just are not happy with it. So the soul mission will be accomplished because the teacher made the lesson plans and all of that. So if a substitute comes in to teach, the information will be given to the kids in a way that the kids will be able to learn. However, they're missing so much more information because it's not given by this man that's in his healthy masculine energy, but it's not able to show it in a way that seems healthy to people who are toxic, who have only seen toxic masculinity, and that's their comfort zone. You get what I'm saying? So his soul mission is not only teach these kids XYZ, is teach them what healthiness looks like, even though it's different from what's at home, even though it's different from what you're used to. This is what healthy looks like. This is a way that you can replicate it or look for it in other people. Okay, this is the effect of it. These are the emotions of it, and this is what it can do for you. You're able to learn so much more in a way that you still want to learn more, not you learn just to get it done type of thing. But the needs will be met either way, but we just hope, the judgment that is offered is the judgment that is in favor of both the children and the professor. Okay, so on that note, good luck to you. Wishing you the best. I'll see you soon. Until the next.